Top news: Stephen Colbert's college classmates reflect on political comedy career after Late Show cancellation. Stephen Colbert has long gravitated toward what one of his friends called playful danger. He leaned into this instinct for the past decade on CBS' The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which he recently announced would go off the air in May 2026. Colbert catapulted the late-night talk show to the top of its time-slots ratings and became known for regularly roasting President Donald Trump. Colbert has reveled in the president singling him out. When Trump first dismissed him as a no-talent guy in 2017, the host pressed his fingertips together and cackled. When Trump did it again a year later, Colbert called out the president for not saying his name. On July 18th, the morning after the show's cancellation was announced, Trump lobbed a similar insult his way. "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired," the president wrote on Truth Social. His talent was even less than his ratings. This time, network TV's top-rated late-night host lifted a finger in the air, raised his voice, and asked, "Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism?" He then turned to a camera labeled Eloquence Cam and said, with lower volume and a more curt tone, "Go F.K. yourself." And Libera, Colbert's former classmate and roommate-turned-close friend, said moments like these reflect Colbert's love of playful danger and the audacity to take a chance and to see what happens. He's really willing to say, "What happens if I just do this?" or "What happens if I let go and speak from my heart?" Libera said. Colbert's sharp wits and compassion have driven his decades-long comedy career, according to several peers and one professor who saw him display those traits at Northwestern. His show's abrupt cancellation signals an uncertain future for late-night television and political comedy as a whole, but Colbert maintains the final word on his path forward. For more than a decade, Colbert satirized conservative cable news hosts by pretending to be one of them. He called his character, who shared his name, a well-intentioned, poorly informed, high-status idiot. But before Colbert played high-status idiots on TV, he played a similar character at least once at NU. As a senior in the play, Terry Won't Talk, Colbert chomped on a cigar and donned a blue blazer with gold buttons to play a manipulative high school principal. The production's director, Aaron Posner, Communication 86, said Colbert's character resembled the conservative pundit he would eventually play on two Comedy Central programs, The Daily Show, where he served as a correspondent from 1997 to 2005, and The Colbert Report, which he hosted in character from 2005 to 2014. The production was sort of meta-theatrical, and it was very playful, and it was building off of who the actual people were, Posner said. Posner called the real Colbert an enthusiast, evident in both The Colbert Report and The Late Show. Colbert shed his conservative alter ego when he moved to CBS, swapping ironic satire with broader jokes and more sincere interviews. His fictional equivalent remained in an unhappy marriage, but the real Colbert brightens up smiling whenever his wife, Evie, makes recurring appearances on The Late Show. Posner said the comedian could get away with playing idiot and whole characters because he's smarter and kinder in real life. What has allowed him to be such a brilliant talk show host is that he's actually interested in things and in people and in the world, Posner said. Several peers said Colbert combined his inquisitiveness with a sharp memory to discuss topics he found interesting at length. Ayun Halliday, who dated Colbert in college and now writes and acts in New York City, said her then-boyfriend would sometimes engage in extended conversations at parties on arcane topics like the fourth dimension. According to Libera, Colbert displayed an especially profound love of language, and he understood how people manipulate it for their own purposes. She cited his debut Colbert Report episode in October 2005, during which the fictional Colbert pontificated about an invented word, truthiness. In character, Colbert decried the divide between those who think with their head and those who know with their heart, proclaiming the truth comes not from books but from the gut. The American Dialect Society and Merriam-Webster declared truthiness the word of the year in 2005 and 2006, respectively. After Trump's first election in 2016, Oxford named a similar word of the year, post-truth, referring to times when objective facts are less influential in shaping public opinion than appeals to emotion and personal belief. Colbert jokingly lamented on The Late Show that post-truth ripped off truthiness. In his July 14th monologue, Colbert blasted his parent company, Paramount Global, for paying what he called a big fat bribe to Trump, a $16 million settlement in a lawsuit over a 60 Minutes interview with then Vice President Kamala Harris. The settlement paralleled one in December between Trump and ABC News, and it came while Paramount sought federal approval to merge with Skydance Media. "I don't know if anything will ever repair my trust in this company, but just taking a stab at it, I'd say $16 million would help," Colbert said in his monologue. 2 nights later, Colbert learned the company was canning his show. His final episode will air in May, and CBS will retire the Late Show brand. CBS said in a July 17 statement that the cancellation was purely a financial decision, not influenced by performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. While Colbert outrates Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon at 11:35 p.m., his show lost about half its advertising revenue from 2018 to 2024, and an anonymous CBS source told the New York Post that the show lost between $40 million and $50 million. Some politicians and entertainers still raised eyebrows. After Senator Adam Schiff, Democrat California, ended an interview with Colbert by turning to the camera and telling Trump to piss off, the lawmaker posted on X, "If Paramount and CBS ended The Late Show for political reasons, the public deserves to know. And deserves better." Comedian Jenna Friedman, Weinberg 05, sat on a panel for Colbert's 2016 Election Day special, processing Trump's unexpected first win on live television. "As long as Stephen Colbert is on late night, as long as people like him are able to critique the administration freely and brazenly, we'll be okay," she recalled thinking at the time. "Our democracy might survive." Friedman said she has long felt comfortable exploring controversial topics, including while appearing on programs like Colbert's. In a 2023 Late Show interview, she made a joke about Jeffrey Epstein that she said would give Stephen something to cut in editing. To her shock, the final episode kept the joke. But Friedman self-censors more of her material now. She said Colbert's cancellation would create a chilling effect on freedom of expression, and she called it a bummer that networks would take fewer risks on comedians like him. "I've always believed that comedians are canaries in the coal mine of democracy," she said. "When your comedians feel like they can joke about anything, that's a sign of a healthy democracy." Colbert boasted in his July 21st monologue, the first after the fateful announcement, that the gloves are off. That monologue racked up about 11 million YouTube views as of Monday evening, and it became Colbert's most watched on the site since January 6, 2021, when he lambasted Trump's response to the attack on the U.S. Capitol. In 1992, Johnny Carson's final Tonight Show episode attracted an estimated 50 million viewers, a number no one has since replicated live. However, audiences no longer have to tune into late-night programs before they fall asleep. Comedians can now reach a broader audience when clips from their shows get posted online, said Michael Schneider, Medill 95, executive editor of TV at Variety. "There's no limit to how many people can tune in, and that's why Colbert, Seth Meyers, Communication 96, Kimmel, Fallon, they all still have a tremendous impact on popular culture and on the dialogue, and that's why they're still so hated by the politicians who they're skewering," Schneider said. The Federal Communications Commission approved the